Welcome to the Lab 3 walkthrough. I will be using the walkthrough notes that are available on the OnCreating Apps website. These are the steps that I will be executing. To begin, we will make the four corners. We'll take our text view and we'll make it a square. For this one, we'll use 150 dp. But, just like strings, we want to extract this as a dimension resource. Alt-Enter to extract dimension resource, and give it a name. I'm just going to call it length. And then I can go, and now I have a square. This will be my top left corner. And I'm not going to constrain to the bottom. I'm not going to constrain to the right. Let's take a look and see if I've done it. And there's my top left. But the text is in the corner, and I don't like that. Let's give it gravity, and that will center it for me. Let's give it an ID, and for later purposes, we're going to use a tag. We'll use top left. Let's set our text size. I'll type in size, and there it is. Let's use 30SP and Alt-Enter to extract the dimension resource. And there's our text size. Now let's repeat to get the four corners. And this is our top right. Now instead of left to left, we're going to make this right to right. I'll type right, right, put in the parent. Okay, let's verify. And there's our top right. For the next one, let's use the button. Again, make it a square. And this one will be on the left. Control A to select everything, Control Alt I to line everything up and make it look pretty. And let's add our ID. And our size. Now let's copy that, paste it. All right, this time we're going to show you a different way. We're going to highlight all of the stuff we want. We're going to Control R to find and replace. And I'm going to replace all of my lefts with rights. And so there's my bottom right. There's my bottom right. Tag name is bottom right. That was a little bit more trouble than it's worth, but I wanted to show you the highlight and replace command. Now let's verify, and there are our buttons. And now we just need to add a seek bar. And bam! We're gonna say match parent for the width, so it goes all the way across. Let's constrain it to the middle of the screen. We'll go top, top, parent, bottom, parent, left, left, parent. Good enough. It's going to fill the whole screen, so that's good. Let's verify. Ah, there we go. Let's give it an ID. Seek bar. Now this is optional, but we're going to put in some initial values. Let's start with the minimum for our bar. It'll be 5. We can't go below that. And our max will be 100. We don't want font bigger than that. We also want to set the initial position. We can do it here or programmatically. I want to do it here. So we go progress and then say, let's start with 30. And that matches the text size we had set previously. We can also set the color. We can do progress tint, and you can do any color you want, but I want to use one that's pre-made. Let's go verify. There we go. Let's run it and make sure it really does work. Voila! There we are. Our top left, top right, and bottom left. Everything seems to be copacetic. Now we're going to save the references to those objects in our main activity. Remember, Alt-Enter to import the button class. Then we're going to make an array of text views, so we can traverse them easily. Remember, a button is a text view, so I can put all 4 of these in there. This is bottom right, top left, we're going to do find view by ID, r.id. And then we're going to go top left. Top right. Okay, let's load our array. Now, we want to set the text to 0 because currently all of our texts have strings in them. We want to change them to numbers. We're going to make a method to do that. We'll call it setInitial values. But it says problem, red. What does the problem look like? SetInitial. Hey, yeah, let's create the method. And it creates the header for us. And since we want to traverse it all, make a for each loop. I can type it out, or I can have the structure created for me. So I can type for each, and it creates the format for me. Of what list? List of views. And what do I want it to do? I want to set the text to 0. Now, let's clean this up. There we go. For each text view X in the list of views, take each of those objects and set the text to 0. Let's go ahead and move the progress bar. Set it to 30 as our starting point. Okay, let's run it, make sure it works. Hey, there we are. We started at 30, and all the values are 0. All right, next, we want to put the OnClick listener in. We need to implement OnClick listener interfaces. Last time we did it with an anonymous function. This time, we're just going to implement view.onClickListener. And it says, wait, we got a problem. Go Alt-Enter, and it says you need to implement methods. Let's do that. See? I need to implement the onClick. There we go. Now we have an onClick. When each of our views are clicked, the onClick method will be called. The view that has been clicked will be passed in, but the problem is views don't have a set text, so we can't change its text value. Therefore, we need to cast our view into the appropriate type. So, button X equals... Alright, that'll be great. Then we can do x.setText. However, we don't know if it's going to be a button or a text view. Therefore, we need to check to see if it's a button. If view is an instance of button, if it's an instance of a button, then we can cast it into a button and set the text. We can set the text by saying x.getText. But you need to turn that into a string. We go toString. Now we have the string. However, I want to increment it first. To increment it, I need to turn it into an integer. I'll parse int. Now I've turned it into a number. I need to add 1. But it's a number, and I need a toString. I'm going to convert this back to a string. Let's make sure we got this right. I need one more. Okay, get those texts, turn it into a string, convert it back into an integer, add 1, then change it back into a string, and set the text. Now we can say else text view. We'll cast it into a text view. Since I have buttons and text views, I'll say if the first one is a button, change it to a button. If it's not a button, then it must be a text view. And I'm going to cheat. We're gonna copy this same code. Ta-da! Now we need to assign this onClick to each of these views. We're going to try something new, have a little fun. I'm going to create each of these lines first. To do this part, I go Alt, click, and drag. Now you see my cursors on all 4 lines. This is how you do multi-line coding. Hit backspace and dot set onClick listener. I'm going to pass myself in. I hit this, enter, and there we go. We have a listener on all of them. Let's test it. All right. That works. That works. That works. And that works. There we go. We have one onClick that works for all of them. We know that text view is a superclass of button. Therefore, a button is a text view, and a text view is the class that first gets the setText method. Anybody under text view has setText. Button is under text view, therefore it has it, hence I don't actually need all of this. It was just to show you the use of instance of. There we go. Now we can just say, hey, any view that comes in, convert it to a text view, so that it has the setText. Control A to select everything, Control Alt I to line everything up. Let's make sure it still works. Everything is back to 0. Let's put a string tag. So this will be the name that our shared preferences will be saved under. And the reason we do this is so that no other program can accidentally have the same shared preferences key and would override or change our values or read our values. We're going to declare a shared preferences here. Now let's grab shared preferences. Let's declare our shared preferences editor as well. Now we are going to instantiate them. Let's get it. You gotta give it the name. That's why we have tag. And then let's grab our editor. Remember, it's shared preferences.edit will return our editor. Now we want to update our values instead of setting it to 0 every time. We'll go to our shared preferences and we'll get the stored values. x.setText. Let's go get the value. And we're going to get a string because that's what it's stored as. I'm going to go get the tag. Remember, each of our views are assigned a tag. And so we're going to get that tag and use it as the key. However, we need it as a string. It put toString, comma, the default value. What happens if it doesn't find anything? This is the very first time I'm running it, and this tag doesn't exist. Then it's going to return 0, and that'll repeat for all the views. The first view will be top left, then top right, bottom left, bottom right. It will get the tag so that it can pull the value. If it can't find it, it'll return 0. We need to store those values. Now, we're going to create onResume. We will have to override the onResume method or event. OnResume. When we resume, we want to set the initial values. That way, it will come up here, load the values from Share Preferences, and update them. And then in our onClick, we want to store those values. We'll do editor.putString. We need the key again. We'll go like this, copy, get the key, comma, and then the value. It goes to X, gets the text, turns it into string, and puts it into this tag key. Now that we put something in, we need to apply it. And that actually stores it to memory. Don't forget that. You could also put it as .apply, like that, if you want. Let's test it. Two, 4, 4, 3. Resume. Good. It works. Let's go ahead and completely shut it down. Lab 3, resume, 2, 4, 4, 3. Good. It remembers itself. Now, we will set the onChangeListener onto the seek bar. We want onSeekBar ChangeListener. Then we go New. Oh, look at that! It knows what we want already. And it implements all 3 abstracts. Now we need to do something. When the progress changes, we need to change the font size. We have a way of changing the font size. Here, let's copy this. And that doesn't change font size. We will make it change font size. X.set text size. Boop. Now, what size will it be? Well, whatever progress is. Let's clean this up. I'm using Control-Delete, and it deletes a space in between. Whenever the seek bar changes, we set all of our views to a new text size. When the seek bar changes, we update the text size for each of our views to match the finger position of the seek bar. Let's test that. Yay! We want to record the state when you start tracking, and we want to pop our snack bar when we stop. When you let go and stop, that's when the snack bar will pop up and you'll say, hey, we changed it to that size. To pop the snack bar, we have to do snack bar equals snack bar dot make. Now the problem here is we need a view and the values, the message. We need to go get the view. How are we going to access this view? What we'll do is come over here to our activity main XML, and we need to give this an ID. If we want this layout to be accessible, we need to give it an ID. There we go. Now it has an ID. We can come back in here and say, well, we need to go get that one. Now we need to access our constraint layout. And then down here, we'll grab it. r.id.layout. There's our constraint layout. Let's give this guy the layout he needs. Let's do seekbar dot get progress. That'll be the number we need, plus SP will be our unit, because text size should be an SP, comma, we need duration, snackbar.length long. There's our view. There's our message, and that's how long we need to keep it up. Now we need to show it. Oops, we don't want class method, we want an instance method. It's this snack bar to show, so lowercase s. Alright, let's test it. Yay! Woo! Okay, font size changed too. Now we are going to use the undo method, undo action. Start the tracking. We need to record the state. We need to record that last progress or the last font size. When we start moving, that's a great time to track it. We'll say last progress is equal to seekbar.getProgress, and that'll record where we start. That way, when we undo, we know to go back to here. In here, we can say snackbar.setAction. We want to call it anything we want. We want to use words people know. Undo is a good option. Let's go new view on click listener. We're going to make a new anonymous listener object. We're creating this label. And when you click on this label, you're going to do this. So this onClick will react to this being clicked. Seekbar.setProgress. We're going to set it back to wherever we were last. When you click undo, we will set the bar back to where it was. Then we need to update the text size. Go back to what it was. We're going to set it back to last progress, and then we're going to do a snack bar to say, hey, we set it back. Snack bar dot make same layout. So set it back to last progress. Oh yeah, plus. Now, how long do we want it? So when undo is clicked, we're going to set the bar back to the last position, so it'll look right. We'll update the text sizes to the last value, and then we'll even pop up a message that says, "Hey, we went back." Let's make sure this closes the anonymous class. This closes the method. There's our semicolon. Now let's update something. Let's customize. Snack bar dot set action color. You can change it to what you want. I'm going to change mine to blue. So we're going to get our snack bar, the little thing down there, and change its text. Now, this you didn't make, but you gotta know. Don't see it. Now let's set its color, set the text, color white, make it pop. It says test next. Let's see. Oh, there it is. And there's the undo button that takes us back. Yay! Undo takes us back. All right, let it stay. Change it to something small and do pop. Yay! Now, for the optional clicks per second, we need some variables to hold on to the data and our timing. Let me just start the time and we'll keep track of our counts. We'll do clicks per second. And when the program starts, in onCreate after set initial values, onCreate is done. We're going to record our time at that point. System.currentTime_milli. That's our start. If you want to reset your clicks per second, you need to reassign your start time. Now let's go into our clicks. Every time we click, we need to update the value. Let's go increment our clicks divided by the amount of time that has passed since we started the app. We need to take our start time and subtract it from our current time. Let's get our current time minus our start time. But that's in millis, so we need to convert it to seconds. Increment our clicks, find the amount of time that has passed, convert it to seconds. That's our clicks per second. Now let's make a toast to pop that. Hey, look, make text. We're going to pass ourselves in as the context. There's our clicks per second. And then how long? We're going to do short because we're going to be clicking a lot. Our toast, it's been made, but it's not going to show. So we're going to do .show, make sure that it shows up. Let's go ahead and test our app. Okay, but we got integers. We need to change one of these. Now watch this. I'm gonna put a F. Now 1000 is a float, not an integer anymore. When you divide by a float, your results will be a float. And float will divide into this integer or this long, which would then make a float. Here's our clicks per second. Yay!
To create our reset function, we'll set the onLongClick listener, and then we're going to implement one. Bam! It does it for me. In here, I will say editor.clear, that wipes everything, .apply, that updates it, set the initial values again, that'll reset everything for us. And then, run! Yay! Everything is blank. Yay! And that's a wrap on Lab 03. Whew, that was a long one. You can always go back and rewatch parts of the video that went by too quickly. That's all for now. Good luck with the lab, and happy coding.